In this video, I'm going to be decoding Delirium by MGMT. So we start off with mild apprehension, mild protest, blank dreams of the coming fun, and that means blind optimism of what's coming. So it is basically saying that you've got your head stuck forward and you're not looking behind you. You have blind allegiance to what's coming. Distort the odds of a turnaround. So about distorting the odds of a revolt, it's all about numbers coded in this fake lie. It's all about the odds, the numbers. Gut screams out next to none. Relying on your gut feeling helps next to no one. And it's important to use your mind instead of your gut. And that is kind of what this lyric is about, because it's about how reactions based on your senses are senseless. So turn it on, tune it in. This is the frequency, turning it on, tuning it in, which is being projected by the Saturn cube right here. It's the Saturn cube, and that is the eye of Horus right here, which is the pineal gland, which is the forbidden fruit. If we can see right here, the pineal gland often is referred to as the forbidden fruit. And stay inert, and that is because you are under the dome right here, which is the island, which is the duality tree of good and evil, which the forbidden fruit is duality on, which we can see right here. This is the island right here, and it is the serpent disc right there. It is the tree of life right there, which we can see duality. So that is all about domestication, because it's all about the dome. Staying inert. You say, I've got the backbone, back way to escape the gun, climbing a tree with a missing limb and not saving anyone. It's about becoming the hero is not really saving anyone. Self-righteousness and doing things for the good of it is not helping anyone out. Basically talking about the how hypocritical duality is. And now it hurts to stay at home because you're staying at home staring at screens. See a flash, the mirror ball throwing its mold. That's about the matrix creating itself, because it is the Ouroboros, and it is the mirror which Adam drowned in, which is the material lie. So we can see right there. You can't get a grip if there's nothing to hold, and that is talking about if you don't have any truth and you don't have anything to hold on to, i.e. looking forward and not looking back at your history and how you came to be. See a flash, catch a white lily and laugh and wilt. And the white lily is Isis, which is Mother Mary. So we can see right here, represents Virgin Mary, and it also represents Isis, if I can find it in here. Goddess Isis, there we go. And that is the Jesus and Mary chain right here, or Jesus. It is the material lie, the mother material lie. And then we have this, but if you must smash a glass, fill it to the hilt. It is about the dome matrix right here. And the Bible talks about how there's waters above. And once the firmament, if it opens up, it fills up the dome. And that causes it to flood. So that is the glass filling to the hilt. As we can see, it's the glass. As we know, the Bible talks about floods and all that kind of stuff. Plants, as far as I know, are still bending towards the light, because the light is the sun, and the sun nourishes us, so we are able to grow, because we are sunlight. And if we dance until the heart explodes, it'll make this place ignite. It's talking about dancing with the devil, and it's talking about the dance floor is the matrix, it is the black and white chessboard. And if we dance enough, create enough energy, negative energy, it'll make this place explode and ignite into flames, because this is taking place in the hell realm. And even if this hall collapses, the hall is the H is the number 8, and so it's like 8 all, which is the Ouroboros, which is the snake eating itself, which is the matrix, the dome, the snake disc, serpent disc. Then we have I can stand by my pillar of hope. It's just a case of flash delirium, and that is because the pillar of hope is your bloodline. As we can see, there are 2 different bloodlines. Even if the hall collapses, which the hall is the matrix, it is the dome, material lie, Even if that collapses, you can stand by your bloodline because it's all a case of flash delirium. We have Ra's arc going through the Duat, or we have the Lady Vengeance, which is a ship, sailing through the Hall of Echoes. So the Hall is the Duat, which is the Hell Realm, and the arc is the arc between the two bloodlines. So we can stand by our pillar of hope, our life, our blood, our souls. Here's a growing culture deep inside a corpse, and the reason why this lyric is here is because we are Atom, and he is Narcissus, which drowned inside the mirror, and we're inside of a larger drowned being. We're like cells that make up the body of this larger drowned being, which is Adam. And as we can see, the serpent climbing the 7 chakras, which is the 3-7, which is the 7 deadly sins. And as we can see, the 777 is the Saturn cube, and we can see the cube trapping the man. It's the bell eye of the beast. You can see it's the bell eye of the beast. The bell eye of the beast right here, bell of Saturn. So we are deep inside the corpse. Ages stuck together because time is an illusion. Taking it to the sources because they're all stuck together because it's an illusion. Taking it to the source, which is Adam. We have timeless desperation, which is the desperation to be outside of time because time is an illusion, is duality. So we are all desperate to leave this illusion. And then we have pictures on a screen. Scream, hey people, what does it mean? It's talking about how ignorant people are. They don't even know what's showing up on the screens that they put in their face. And they're afraid of it because they don't know what it is. But they are too lazy and they appeal to the majority to answer the question for them instead of having discernment. It's saying comfort keeps us nice. So quick to donate everything. So quick to throw out everything that's sacred, basically, is what that means. They don't have anything that's sacred because everything is meaningless according to their view. Because there's no history, there's no past, there's no place that things came from. It is all this meaningless space dust narrative that they keep throwing around. So then we have Diewolk and Drifting, Blinding Smiles, Circling. This is the Blinding Smiles, Circling, so this is just talking about the feedback loop of constantly smiling at your own demise, pretty much. And Time's Tingling Spines, and the reason why Time's Tingling Spines is because it is related to the chakras, which is tingling the spines and being taken over by the serpent, which is the 7 deadly sins, as I talked about earlier. We have Attaching Hands to Floor. Attaching Hands to Floor is talking about inverting yourself because we are the pentagram represents us. So when our hands are on the floor, it's talking about inverting yourself and having your genitalia where your head should be, matter over mind. The Rosy Tinted Flash. The Rosy Tinted Flash, roses represent sacrifice. And so it's the sacrificing to the Saturn. The Hot Dogs Getting Cold is talking about the hypocriticism of language, because we call something hot, but stuff doesn't always stay hot. It's this hypocritical duality of either being one or the other. Yeah, because hot dogs end up getting cold. It's the whole joke here. And then we have You'll Never Be As Good as the Rolling Stones. And that is because it's talking about how people have idols and they'll never be as good as their idols. So it's the whole ridiculousness of that. And also the Rolling Stones is because it's like you're rolling the stone up the mountain, it ends up crushing you. So don't have idols, basically what this is implying. And then watch the birds in the airport gathering dust, and that is because the birds are dinosaurs. They represent the reptilians. They represent the reptilian bloodline, and it's talking about how they're gathering dirt. So it's talking about how we're dividing each other. So it's just basically saying we shouldn't divide each other like that, gathering dirt on someone, collecting evidence against someone. And then we have Crowd the Clear magazine, chick lifting up her skirt. The Clean magazine is talking about the perversion of man and how they talk about this in the Bible, how like Adam and Eve sewed fig leaves on their genitalia because it's this idea that nudity and nature is somehow wrong and that we have to conceal our bodies. And then we have lines when I close my eyes, and just why close one eye and try to aim blindly at the sun, pledge allegiance to the sun, and that is about it's about Horus's one eye. So we have the one eye of Horus. So instead of just looking at the sun with both your eyes and seeing the sun for what you can see, it's talking about worshiping Horus, the false light, and closing one eye to do that. So it's talking about worshipping lies instead of seeing what the truth is in your love. When ghosts start terrorizing everyone, when plastic ghosts start terrorizing everyone, the plastic ghosts are the G hosts, the serpent hosts, because the G is the serpent, so the host of the serpent's hosts. They start terrorizing everyone when you believe in the lie, the duality, because your head is in the clouds, which is the clouds is the cube, which is the hive mind. Then we have geometric troops aligning, because it's all based on it's all based on numbers and geometry. Carried up to the burial mounds, sacrifices with gold. It's a heavy load, but my earthbound heart is heavy. It's talking about how when your heart is heavy, you become like a sacrifice. In Egyptian mythology, your heart is weighed with the scales, and if your heart is heavy when you're in the Duat, which is the Hell Realm, then the crocodile Sobek eats your soul, is what that means. And then your rhythm makes it light, your heartbeat keeps things light and explode. And then it says, like a violent star keeps threatening the night. It's because it's saying that even when you're lighthearted, being completely lighthearted isn't great either, because it's like a violent star which keeps threatening the night. So it's threatening the night, the darkness. So we want to have both, because duality it's a lie, it's a fiction, and there's really both. It's not one or the other, it's both. It's the flame and the shadow. So, and then we have in the Bible right here, we can see, so then it became, thou art lukewarm and neither not hot nor cold, so I'll spew thee out of my mouth, because we were inside of the serpent. We're consumed by the serpent, so that is the serpent spitting us out of its mouth, because we are not part of the duality matrix. So even if this all collapses, this fake matrix collapses, I can stand by my pillar of hope and trust that our heads won't bust, because our heads bursting is the 322 skull and bones, because the skull and bones represents nuke. If you look at the skull, it represents a mushroom cloud. So that's talking about the duality exploding our heads. The 6-6, which is the forbidden fruit, FF, forbidden fruit. And then we have 55, which is the SS in Leet speak. And red battleships, because it's talking about the two bloodlines fighting each other and how we shouldn't be fighting each other because it's an illusion. We are sunlight, we are one. We shouldn't be fighting each other. Duality is fake. And then we have 40 Earth-like planets, because 40 represents the UB40, it is the unemployment benefits. It represents the prison planets. We have 3 holes, 2 tits. 32 is the temperature, the degrees which water freezes. So it's talking about how the material lie is keeping you frozen here. You're frozen in the material lie. And then we have 1 fork in its side, because that's the tuning fork, which we can see right here, which is the 2 pillars. The energy going between the 2 pillars. Tuning fork. 0 tears in their eyes, because everyone is cold and disconnected. They want to turn everybody into robots. And then we have sue the spiders. It's talking about the hypocriticism again, because it's talking about suing spiders, which are natural creatures, and talking about how spiders are basically web weavers. So it's talking about how liars and deceivers have always been part of nature, and using the system itself, the lie, to attack the natural state of things is hypocritical and ridiculous. And then we have Sink the Welsh, which I'm not sure about, and then we have Sell, obviously. And then undercooked, overdone, because it's the duality. It's either undercooked or overdone. Mass adulteration, people selling their bodies, not so funny. Poisoned honey, because this whole place is, the material lie is the poisoned honey. And we have pseudoscience, which is talking about the flat earth and all that kind of stuff, and then the firmament is pseudoscience. Silly money, you're my honey, and then you turn into the lie itself, because it's the serpent eating its own tail. If you're consumed by the lie.